Once upon a time, on the outskirts of the internet, two experts and a couch decided to find out what it takes to succeed. All they have, a lot of free time and absolutely no clue where to start. Starring Mike as Mr. Right, Ron as Mr. Wrong, Couch as the Couch.
Hello, and welcome to CouchPodcast, your source of education and entertainment. Here with you, Mike and Ron. And in today's episode, we will talk about the 13 virtues of Benjamin Franklin. We'll briefly discuss who was Benjamin Franklin and how 13 virtues formed his life. Be sure to listen all the way through for details.
All right, so who's Benjamin Franklin? Benjamin Franklin was born on Milk Street in Boston, Massachusetts on January 17, 1706. Fact that he only had 2 years of schooling is mind-blowing. He attended Boston Latin School but did not graduate. He continued his education through voracious reading. At age of 12, he became an apprentice to his brother James, a printer who taught him the printing trade. Franklin was an advocate of free speech from an early age, as we can witness in his quote, "Without freedom of thought, there can be no such thing as wisdom and no such thing as public liberty without freedom of speech." At age 17, Franklin ran away to Philadelphia, seeking a new start in a new city. When he first arrived, he worked in several printer shops around town, but he was not satisfied with the immediate prospects. After a few months, while working in a printing house, Pennsylvania Governor Sir William Keith convinced him to go to London, ostensibly to acquire the equipment necessary for establishing another newspaper in Philadelphia. Discovering that Keith's promises of backing a newspaper were empty, he worked as a typesetter in a printer's shop in what is now the church of St. Bartholomew the Great in the Smithfield area of London. Following this, he returned to Philadelphia in 1726, and that's where it began.
In 1726, at the age of 20, Benjamin Franklin created a system to develop his character. Although Benjamin Franklin's description of each virtue is short, it leaves some interpretation open to a reader. In his autobiography, Franklin listed his 13 virtues as follows. Number 1, temperance. Eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation. Comes from the Latin temperantia, which means self-control. Simply put, do not eat or drink excessively.
Yeah, and if you look from the other perspective, if you see it as something that works out with your goals, you should always stay a little bit hungry in your life, to leave a little bit of space to continue. If you will reach some of your goals and if you will acquire them as your ultimate goal, you will not continue. So you will be stuck at this point. So I think if you view it from this side, it's better to leave a little bit space to grow, to to make more improvement on the next day.
Number 2 is silence. Speak not but what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation. As we usually say, silence is golden.
Most of us are into some casual discussions with everyone. We're talking too much these days, but it's better to really talk the really meaningful things to others. If you know that it will bring some benefits to yourself, either to other people, then it's okay. But if you will just spending your time talking about nothing, unnecessary things, it's just a waste of time. So try to avoid it, unless that is your close person, like your spouse, your family, your children. You can share with them all your thoughts. With other people, try to think what you are talking about.
Yeah, if you don't have anything good to say, just say nothing. Be silent, it's better. Number 3 is order. Let all your things have their places. Let each part of your business have its time. Like when you're spending when you're spending time with your family, make sure you fully spending time with your family, because nowadays most of us, uh, we when we at work, we think about home and family. When we with the family, we think about work. uh, your time best used if you at work thinking about your job, and when you at home with your family, you think you fully with your family. I would say this would be good example of number three. Number four, resolution. Resolve to perform what you ought, perform without fail what you resolve.
All right. So it's about uh, if you have some issues in your life and you know how to resolve them, then you should do it the best way without failure. You should concentrate on or resolving this situation, resolving your issue.
Yeah, if you, yeah. So if you have a resolution to some, uh, some circumstances in your life, like you have clear resolution, that then you have to just follow that resolution. Number five, frugality. May not make no expense, but to do good to others or yourself. Waste nothing. Uh, that's could be good example of today's, like, everyone want latest gadget, to have a latest gadget. Even though you have a iPhone 12, you want iPhone 13, and then when iPhone 14 comes out, you want iPhone 14. Uh, Even when the purchase doesn't bring any value or benefit to you or others, you still want to upgrade and spend money, and which would consider as a waste of money because it doesn't bring any value or benefit to you. To most of us, maybe for some people that brings benefit. I don't know. Maybe there's some people who do, like, uh, review on the latest tech. Then that's your job to upgrade something new and new. I don't know how it works though. Number six, industry. Lose no time. Be always employed in something useful. Cut off all unnecessary actions.
Like
Uh,
we spend a lot of time on our social media, like even during our like working hours, even if you just, oh, I will just check this page or something like that, you will spend like at least, no, let's be honest, none of us spend like 2 minutes in Instagram or on other social media. We're just opening it and that's it. You're in there for like 30 minutes, 1 hour. You will just lose time. But what if you just think about it? What if you will not spend your time on unnecessary things? How productive can you become?
yes, like we talked last time, this is the most precious uh, assets in our life. It's our time. So, yeah, lose no time. Number seven, sincerity. Use no heartful deceit. Think innocently and justly. And if you speak, speak accordingly.
Mm, uh, it's all about being honest. If you see someone's getting successful, you should take all the positive sides from it. You should be inspired. You should be like sincerely happy with their success. You should not be jealous at any rate. You should just think about it, and you should speak accordingly. Like if you're thinking positively about someone's success, you should tell them about it. Like, hey, I'm happy about like you're getting something in your life, you're achieving your goals. That's it. Just be honest with other people and try to not be like jealous for someone.
Yeah. Number eight, justice. Wrong none by doing injuries or omitting the benefits that are your duty.
All right. So, according to Benjamin Franklin's description, justice uh, is about do not injure and do not withhold good. And that's the justice. And his description of justice gives us two considerations for reflection. On one hand, we're to care for our actions toward others, and on the other is our duty to not withhold good.
Number 9, moderation. Avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injury so much you think they deserve.
It's all about do not try to become like the best in something in short period of time. If you want to become healthy, it doesn't mean that you should work out 7 days per week without rest. Or if you want to become clever, you don't need to read 100 books per day. Your mind will just blow up. So just uh, be like your expectations should be on earth. You should not like start from some extreme point.
Yeah, find your golden mean.
That's right. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Number 10, cleanliness. Tolerate no uncleanliness in body, clothes, or habitation, which is a basic. But even in today's world, we have people who sometimes, I mean, like some people don't use just the basic. They don't shower. Yeah, it's just basic. I know, I understand if you don't have any mean to shower, sometimes you don't have a mean to shower. But if you do, it's just the basic. Wake up, take a shower, clean your teeth.
That's your routine. If
Yeah.
you're avoiding it, there's some problems with you. Just go check yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Clean your room, clean your clothes, take them to the laundry. Okay. Number 11, tranquility. Be not disturbed at trifles or at accidents common or unavoidable. There is some situation in your life that just will happen, and try to stay calm and not to stress out or overthink when they do happen because they are unavoidable. Uh, and think through that with a clear head. Uh, Number 12, chastity. Rarely use venery but for a health or offspring. Never to dullness, weakness, or the injury of your own or another's peace or reputation.
That's very
What?
popular. in,
Yeah.
in this modern world, we're spending a lot of energy for like a couple of minutes of satisfaction. And that's
Yeah.
how the things are not working well because you're spending actually you're spending a lot of energy for you're wasting your energy that could be helpful for you to get more successful. So it's better to use it on purpose.
Yeah, use that for health or offspring. Do not injure your reputation or reputation of others by going and, well, doing things that you
Doing
shouldn't do.
things.
Yeah. Don't do things.
Don't do things. Yeah.
Number 13, and this is actually fun fact about this. Benjamin Franklin had only 12 virtues, and when he showed to his friend his 12 virtues, his friend said that you forgot the main one, that is humility. So 13, his 13 virtues become humility. We always has to remember to stay humble no matter what happened in our lives. We doesn't matter how successful you can become, just remember to stay humble. Because some people, when they become successful, they start treating others like, I don't know, they are some kind of, I don't know,
Trash.
slaves. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And it's very important to be a decent human being, first of all.
Yes. And just stay humble, because money, success, it comes and goes. And humility, that that should stay always. There is no guarantee that if you become successful, you always will stay successful, or if you become rich, you always stay rich. You can lose everything, but never lose your humility.
If you will be good to others, no matter what, even if tomorrow you will lose everything, you will not lose like the good deeds. People will remember you as a good as a good one. Not as some guy. Oh, he became rich and he treated everyone as trash. So
Yeah. Um, that's 13 virtues of Benjamin Franklin. And this is virtues that shaped his life. Uh, Benjamin Franklin defined his 13 virtues. He understood that it would be counterproductive to try to tackle all of them at the same time, and it would be better if he concentrate on one at a time. To proceed, he used the like table. He used the table of virtues. That what he called it actually, and a title which was the key virtue of the week and the associate application principle. An example: temperance, eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation. A table was with 7 columns with the 7 columns for 7 days of the week, and 13 rows for 13 virtues. Every week he focused his attention on one virtue only. Thus, the first week he did his best to respect the virtue of temperance without thinking too much about the other virtues. Every evening he self-exam uh, for every virtue and mark his mistakes committed, respecting that virtue with a little dot. At the end of the each week, he looked at his table. If the key virtue of that week had few dots, he would proceed to the next one. And he would continue doing this uh, like he would continue doing this until he got the end of 13-week cycle. Then he could start another cycle and focus again on his attention on temperance before concentrating on silence, and so on and so forth.
yeah, but we're not all virtue paragons like Benjamin Franklin and don't necessarily have the same vision of moral excellence. However, we can use his approach to align our actions, behaviors, and attitudes with what we really want. And here is the way that you can do it on your own. So first of all, you should define a list of key virtues, habits, something that you want to acquire or preserve. You can have a few virtues, or you can have even only one. Doesn't matter. All right. So for each virtue, you should define its associated application principle. Let's suppose you have chosen the virtue of integrity. From your own vision of integrity, you must define what it will mean for you in your daily life. So, in that, at the top of your table, it should be like your opinion about of integrity, your vision. For example, always be honest and tell the truth unless forced to lie under extreme circumstances. Uh, then you should build your table. Like you should mention the 7 days of the week, your virtue, and after that, you can use the Benjamin Franklin's method. You have to self-exam every evening yourself for 3 minutes and look at your table, like every end of the week for 5 minutes. For example, if you have like mistakes with that virtue, you should put the black dot on it, and that until you will lose all your black dots and like perfectly achieve something that you want, some virtue. So that's the way it works from his perspective, and that how he achieved everything, how he made this certain virtues work for himself in his life, and then that how you can do it on your own, how you can improve yourself by his method.
Okay. Uh, Benjamin Franklin, when he measured and improved the quality of his decision and actions, which enabled him to reach and maintain excellence day after day. And don't forget, what gets measured gets managed. So always track what you do and manage how you're doing it, and measure how far did you get. So we done for today, and we want to thank you, all of you, that you listen to this episode and you are with us. For our next episode, we want to discuss how to become successful and define what the success is actually.
Yeah, thank you everybody, and the share of this podcast will be really appreciated. Let's grow our own community and let's share our opinions with each other. Let's start a community between the people who want to improve themselves, same as we are trying to. And thank you, everyone. We'll be uh, online each week with you.
Yep.
Stay with us.